Hurricane Matthew has been devastating for North Carolina. At the time of this, there's water still rising, the death toll is still ticking upward, and the energy companies are still struggling to restore power for many. When the waters do finally recede from this atrocity, folks will start assessing the damages and start putting their lives back together again. Among the damage, there will likely be lost important documents that will need to be replaced. One of the things that may need to be replaced is your last will and testament. Here are some tips on keeping your will safe from future natural disasters. First, let's talk about the safe deposit box. This is a common place for folks to put their last will and testament, other common important documents, things that they treasure. I typically would advise against a safe deposit box unless you speak to the bank first. What I see commonly is we can't find a will for a deceased person. We think it might be in the safe deposit box, but we either don't have a key or don't have lawful access to enter the safe deposit box to look for the will. This can involve the clerk of court having to come down to the bank through appointment and having to set up a review of the safe deposit box. If we can't find a key, we might have to retain a driller to come and drill the box. What this practically means for your loved ones is that it will cause substantial delay, sometimes up to months of delay, in administering your estate and seeing that your affairs are handled. Attorneys will often store your will. Many don't charge for it. Make sure to ask your attorney if you decide to go with this option about how they're stored and what will happen if they ever shut down. Most are required to send you some sort of notice, but you'll want to know what to expect if they ever shut down or move, because you want to be able to keep up with where that document is currently at. The clerk of court. The clerks of court in North Carolina, in every county, will store wills for safekeeping. This is a good option. Normally they're kept in a vault, and it doesn't cost anything to store your will there. If you do that and then you move, you want to make sure to put it on your checklist to go and get the document back. If you die in another county or if you're domiciled in another county at the time of your death, it's very difficult to go back, and sometimes we don't know which county you lived in and where your will is stored, and there's not really a method of keeping up with that. So if you do move, make sure you go back and get your document or tell somebody where it's stored. Fireproof safes. This is probably the number one place where people keep their wills. Everybody seems to have these days a fireproof safe, maybe $30 to $50 in value. You can keep your stuff there. It should be safe. The one issue I would say is that the warranties on those typically only cover the cost of the safe. So if there's actual damage that's suffered as a result of your will being lost, people are left without inheritance that they were supposed to get or other damages, that's usually not going to be something that's going to be covered by the warranty on the safe. So you want to search around, search online, look for reviews, find a good safe that's got a good reputation for withstanding damage or withstanding fire. Now, what happens if your will is burned in a fire? Well, the presumption in North Carolina is that if your will cannot be found, it is presumed to have been intentionally destroyed by you. It would not be valid. We can sometimes probate a copy, but we have to have a hearing. We have to prove that you didn't intentionally destroy your will. So if you're burned in a house fire and your belongings are burned, usually we can prove that the fire caused the burning of the will, and we may be able to probate a copy. This does require a hearing. It requires evidence to be put on. It's usually far better, though, to avoid that hearing and take measures to make sure your will is safe. But there is a process in case it is accidentally destroyed. If you have any questions about probating a lost will, or keeping your will safe, or restoring a will that's been lost or destroyed by a natural disaster, feel free to give me a call or look us up online at hoplerwilms.com. Thank you.